We've all seen K-food take the world by storm, right? From that sizzling barbecue to spicy, tangy kimchi. But what if I told you that behind all those incredible flavors, there's a really deep philosophy? One that treats every single meal as a chance to heal and balance your body? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore.
And that right there, that's the core question in traditional Korean cuisine. It completely reframes eating. It's not just about filling your stomach anymore. It's about intentionally nourishing your entire being. Honestly, it's a way of thinking that can turn cooking from just another chore into this powerful act of self-care.
So here's our game plan. We'll start by unpacking this whole food as medicine idea. Then we're going to get into the 5 key organs in traditional Korean medicine, and we'll zoom in on the liver and the lungs. After that, we'll see how this all comes to life in the food from the Gyeongbuk region, and finally, we'll see where this amazing tradition is headed next.
All right, let's dive right into the heart of this idea. This concept, it has a name, and it's called Gyeongsan.
Think of Gyeongsan as this beautiful combination of 2 words, yak, which means medicine, and sion, which means meal. It's not about having to choose between something that tastes amazing and something that's good for you. The whole point is to get all 3 in every single dish. Incredible flavor, solid nutrition, and a real targeted health benefit.
Okay, so how do you even know what your body needs? Well, Gyeongsan has a guide for that. It's a framework for understanding the body that's built around 5 core pillars, known as the Ojang.
The Ojang are basically the 5 command centers for your health. Now, it's really important to get this. We're not just talking about the physical organs you learned about in biology class. No. Think of them more like entire networks that manage function, energy, and even your emotions. Let's do a quick meet and greet with these 5 pillars.
First up, we have the liver. In this system, it's kind of like the body's general. It's the master planner, the strategist, making sure everything runs smoothly.
Then you've got the heart, which is seen as the emperor. It's not just about pumping blood, it's the home of our consciousness, our spirit. It really influences our mental clarity. Next is the spleen system. This is the body's main transformer. Its job is to take the food we eat and turn it into the energy, or qi, that our body actually uses. After that, we have the lungs. They're like the prime minister, managing our protective energy and our connection to the outside world every time we take a breath. And finally, the kidneys. These are considered the root of our life force. They store our fundamental essence and vitality. So for the rest of our time together, we're going to zoom in on 2 of these, the liver and the lungs. So let's kick things off with the liver. Remember, in traditional Korean medicine, this is the general of the body. It's in charge of the big picture strategy, making sure everything is flowing just right. And sure, we know where it is physically, up there in the abdomen. But in this system, its job is so much bigger. It's not just about detoxification. It's about managing the flow of everything and storing our most vital resources. And this is where it gets really cool, how all of these functions are connected. The liver stores blood, which then goes to nourish our muscles and tendons. It makes sure our vital energy, our qi, is flowing freely without any blockages. They say you can see a healthy liver system in clear eyes and strong nails. And emotionally, it's tied to anger. So if your liver system is out of whack, you might feel more irritable, more stuck. So how do you take care of this general of yours? Well, in Gyeongsan, you look to specific ingredients. Cassia seed, which is actually known as the seed that brightens the eyes, and chrysanthemum flowers are very popular in teas and dishes to help soothe and support the liver. All right, let's shift gears and talk about the lungs. If the liver is the general, then the lungs are the prime minister. They manage our body's entire relationship with the world outside. They really are our first line of defense. You might think the lungs are just about breathing, but in this philosophy, they do so much more. They're in charge of our defensive qi, which is this energy that circulates right under our skin, almost like the front line of our immune system. They also regulate fluids in the body and are even considered the master of rhythm, helping keep all our internal systems in sync. And on the emotional side, the lungs are connected to sadness and grief. And this is Gyeongsan in action, To support the lungs, especially if you have a dry cough or you're just feeling run down, Korean cuisine turns to some really specific roots. Bloomflower root and daeoduk are treasured for their ability to moisturize and replenish the lungs. You'll often find them in side dishes or warming, hearty soups. Okay, enough theory for a minute. Let's see how all of this comes together on the plate in one of Korea's most amazing culinary regions, Gyeongsangbuk-do, or just Gyeongbuk for short. The amazing thing about Gyeongbuk is how its landscape shapes its food, each with its own special properties. Over on the coast, in Pohang, they make something called gwamegi. It's fish that's been dried by the cold sea wind, and that process actually concentrates all its nutrients. Then, if you go inland to Songju, you'll find gokgum, or dried persimmons. These are considered fantastic for nourishing the lungs, a perfect naturally sweet treat. And when I say Sanju is the place for gokgum, I am not kidding. The city produces a whopping 60% of the entire country's supply. That's just a huge testament to the region's perfect climate and centuries of know-how. And this way of thinking isn't just about what you eat, but how you cook it. Let's look at soli yamyokjog, a traditional grilled beef dish. The technique here is so deliberate, so intentional. You pound the meat to tenderize it, you grill it, and the second the juices appear, you shock it in ice water to lock them in. You repeat that process to build these incredible layers of flavor. Every single step has a purpose, designed to make it taste amazing and be amazing for your body. So, where does all this ancient wisdom go from here? Well, it's definitely not about being stuck in the past. It's all about preservation, but also innovation. It's really amazing to see you've got chefs today creating these mind-blowing modern dishes, all built on these ancient Yaxian ideas. You have whole regions branding their food based on its health benefits. This philosophy is constantly being reimagined for our modern world. And it's just this powerful reminder that every single meal is an opportunity. So the next time you sit down to eat, maybe ask yourself, beyond just my hunger, what am I truly nourishing today?